My name is Joe Lawley. I'm the product manager at Creative Millwork, and we're going to go over our SDL grill application and how we're applying it to the glass. I have a brochure here that we're going to follow. You'll have this brochure available to you to post in your facility, and it'll demonstrate some basic steps of applying. What we're going to need is some masking tape, common zip ties, pencil, a square of some sort, and possibly a credit card of some sort. This is for clearance. When you receive our product, you'll get an interior and an exterior grill, separate components per bag. You want to make sure that you don't dump everything out into onto the table, because the parts are particular for a side. In this case, we'll start with our interior grills. The tags will be marked interior. Horizontal bars are notched so that the top edge is continuous, and when you muck these together, we'll dry run and fit it on the sash. Over here to our sash, this is the interior of a sash, and we want to make sure that the grill fits before we remove any adhesive liner. A credit card is used to make sure there's a gap at each end, and it's roughly the thickness of a credit card. But you want to check the gap. That's critical for expansion and contraction, and we've put a 15 thousandths gap in intentionally. At the point when we know we have a good fit, we can remove our bars and mark the sash, the daylight, where the bars will intersect. I'm going to use our bar as a template. Where the notch is in the bar, we mark the daylight at the top and again at the bottom. Center the horizontal bar in the opening, and then mark the sash for the bottom. We'll do the same on both sides with a vertical bar. We use our vertical bar as a gauge and mark the sash. Come over to the other side. And mark our sash again. Now the sash is ready for the grill to be installed. The next thing we do to the sash is we prepare the surface of the glass with a cleaner. It's a gap product. Depending on the size of the order, you will receive a package, towelette, 4-ounce bottle, or an 11-ounce spray can. And GAP is a glass adhesion promoter. It treats the surface tension of the glass to promote the best bond with our adhesive. It's a glass cleaner, but we don't have to actually polish the glass. We want to treat it and use this cleaner. It may leave a white residue. We want to make sure we get the edges. Sometimes on the edge there may be some residual glazing, tape, putty, and we want to make sure that's free from any debris. Once the glass surface now is treated, we can go back to our grill and prepare that for the installation. I'm going to use the masking tape temporarily to hold the grill bar together. And that's temporary. So we can turn it over and remove our adhesive liner. Once all of the adhesive is exposed, one of the methods we're going to suggest is a common zip tie to be used as a shim. And the shim should be placed about a ½ inch to an inch away from the edge and about a 1/16 of an inch into the side of the bar. And again, it's just to be used as a shim, so when we go to apply the grill to the glass, it doesn't contact the glass until we have the grill in the proper position. And there you have it. A grill with common zip ties being used to shim it up off the glass. Now what we're going to do is drop this onto the glass carefully. Now the grill's in position with the zip ties, and I'm still able to move it around so that I can line the end of the grill with the sash, where the markings on the sash are. And I'm going to do that with a simple square. So in this case, I'm going to square the daylight with the bar, touch this down, remove the tie. I'm going to go to my other side. And then again on each vertical. We'll square this up with the sash, where our marks are on the sash, touch it down, and remove the tie. At this point, the middles are already secure based on everything on the ends matching the markings that I made. So we should be able to just remove the remaining zip ties. And the last step to the grill is applying the pressure. We use a J-roller, and with constant pressure along each bar, we want to make sure that the grill, that the adhesive is what they call wet out against the glass. And once each bar is rolled with consistent pressure, the grill is secure. We can remove our temporary masking tape. And one side is complete. From the back side of the tape, we want to look and see to make sure that our pressure with the roller took all the air bubbles out of the bottom or the back side of the tape, and you can see that there are no pockets in the adhesive, so that's a good wet out. That's a good contact with the glass. it's critical that the edges, if there is any type of air trapped in the bar, that is in the middle, that our edges have to be sealed. That's the most important part. If it's not, we would go and turn the window back over and re-roll in the areas that we see that it's not contacting very well. Once complete, we're ready to do the exterior side. In the bag for the exterior now, the same arrangement. Our horizontal bars are continuous. Our vertical bars joint with the horizontal, and we still do our initial fit to make sure we have our gap. Again, if you use the credit card, the gap should be maintained along the edges. Again, it's that 15 thousandths per side for any movement, expansion, and contraction. Once we know we have a proper fit, we have the option at this point of taking the bars and using them as the template to mark the sash as we did in the interior, on the interior side, or putting the grills together and using the interior grill from below as the guide to visually locate it. So that's what we'll do. We'll give it a visual on this section. And we're still going to take and remove all of our liner. Now we're going to go back to our zip ties and apply them in the same fashion we did to the interior. Okay, there's our grill prepared, liners removed, zip ties are in place. We still have to clean the glass like we did on the interior. We only did one side before. We're going to do the same thing. In this example, we're going to use the grill below as our alignment. Since we did not mark the sash, we have to align with the grill below. So again, carefully placing it in the opening. The zip ties allow me to still place it where it belongs. And I'm going to look directly over top and square this up again. Touch the end. Pull my tie. Apply that constant pressure along each horizontal bar and each vertical bar. Once that's complete, we remove our temporary masking tape, and our SDL application to one sash is complete. Our interior and our exterior. The clearance that we need on the end with the 15 thousandths thick shim stock per side is very critical, and if that dry fit does not give you this clearance, then the bars have to be modified either with a radial saw, a sanding operation. Each facility will have its unique workflow to address that end, but it's very important to not avoid that process of checking the 15 thousandths fit for expansion, contraction. Any kind of movement that's binding, that's too tight, is going to create stress in the tape that could ramp up on the sash. It could buckle in the middle. there could be things that could jeopardize the longevity of the product, and we definitely want this product to last a long time. Okay, in summary, this is our completed sash. It's a rather small sash, and in some units you may need 2 people for the size of a window, a picture window, a longer casement, 1 at each end. There may need to be some help in that regard. A double hung of a common size sash like this one here that we just installed should be about 5 minutes per sash. We took a lot of time, and once a process is in place and you're getting the units on consistently over time, the interior and the exterior sash should be about 5 minutes a sash, 10 minutes a double hung. That's a target time to install.